You guys tap that screen. How about with the live goal? The Gator Farm. Guys, tap that screen. We'll get started here. If you're over on the tube, appreciate you guys being here. Drop a like, drop a comment. Help that algo out. Good times. Friend Erika will be with us shortly. If you voted for Donald Trump, you can hop in the box. Or if you're over on the tube or on the Purple app, you can call in. You can call in. Appreciate you guys helping out, tapping the screen, helping out with live goal. Thank you for being here. Phone line is open and working. Just tested, so there you go. Guys, while we do appreciate you sharing out the live, please don't spam share. Don't spam share. That actually hurts us with the algo. So if you can, but we do appreciate you sharing out the live. Thank you, thank you. That's okay, Zin. It's all right. It's all good. Just letting you know. All righty. Well, that's two songs. So here we are. But
Robert Smith, everybody's weird crush.
everybody's weird crush.
Well, mine.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, do you want to amend that a little bit?
Nope.
Whoa. Well, look who it is. Look who's also here. Look at this.
Yay, Nemo.
Yes, Nemo's here. We missed you. We missed you last night, Nemo. How's it going, bud? There you go.
Give me one sec.
Yeah, that's fine. Take your time.
My god's doing weird stuff.
You can drop and come back up. Weird crush is a perfect description. I mean, sure.
You know who the other one is? Noel Fielding from, if anyone watches The Great British Bake Off, which I believe you call The Great British Baking Show, because Pillsbury, do you not? I thought Pillsbury owned the rights to the phrase bake off in the United States.
I've only ever known it as the Great British Bake Off, but I don't know. Is that a
Well, Noel Fielding is my other weird crush. And I went to see the Mighty Boosh live in Brighton once. I, I, I can only remember about 15 minutes of that whole night because things were done, you know,
things
you
were
know.
done?
If you go see the Mighty Boosh, you're not going in cold. Do you know what I mean?
Wow. Okay, Erica. All right, I see. All right, we got someone here. Christopher, hello. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did, but I regretted my vote a long time ago. I actually just wanted to come up here and see if you wanted to learn about solar.
Learn about solar?
Yeah, I'm at work right now, and like I could turn my camera on and just like kind of show you like my job.
Well, that's cool. But actually, we do just kind of want to have conversations right now with Trump supporters. And also my mods will get you. But I want to tell you, Christopher, I really appreciate the fact that you did vote for Donald Trump and you've changed your mind. So thank you, friend. I appreciate that. Also, I had solar at my house when I lived in Medford previously, and I really liked it. I really liked it. In fact, I want to get it again one day. So, but
I have
yeah,
I have solar to heat my water,
yeah, yeah, very good.
but it just heats my water. It doesn't do the electricity.
Yeah, all right. You want to you could yeah, man, you could talk real quick about why you regret your vote. That's fine. Like I said, my mods will snipe you real quick because
No,
they
no,
yeah
no,
they
you're good.
would stick on topic. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
why
no, you're
why
good.
is it that you regret your vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah, so I guess I grew up in like a predominantly Republican family for the longest time, and I believe my parents still are Republican. But for the last at least 8 months, I would say, literally right after Donald Trump became president, I've been actively trying to get them to realize all the bad stuff that he's done and he continues to do every day. You know, examples such as rip apart families with ICE, and because Obama, the ICE administration was under Obama, but Obama didn't run this administration the way Trump has, and as well as citizens have been unalived in the streets due to the administration. And as a father, I can't support that. First off, I can't support families being ripped apart. I mean, I couldn't imagine my child being ripped apart from me because of where I was born. And what else? The economy is in shambles.
Yeah,
The e-files were held against his throat, and that's what he ran on. He ran on, you know, draining the swamp and getting all the all the e-files released, so the poor people that were affected by Epstein and all the victims could finally get closure, and that never happened. Or it got to the point where he was being forced by Congress to release them, which I just thought was as an eye opener on its own. And I think any radical, or not radical, but any rational person, especially a person that still supports Trump, or at least at one point supported Trump, can realize like that he's terrible, and the country is just going into more shit. and the world's laughing at us. Iran makes Lego videos about us and Trump, and like I deeply regret not voting for Kamala. I also don't like the fact that he's pushing YT nationalism in the country. The way he has rallied his constituents and the voters. He's lied to everybody. Everything that he ran on is the opposite of what we've seen. And I don't know what his approval rate is what 36 right now. Is that right? Or
Yeah, it's it's abysmal, down to 30, 34, 33, something like that. It's literally his net approval rating is negative 19%, which is the lowest in modern history, if not in history. I mean, it's hard to say in history. I mean, in terms of comparatively with older presidents, but in modern history, in the way that we currently do approval ratings, it's the lowest of all presidents. So yeah,
Sure. And then I never really listened too much onto the case, or I guess I was never really on the news, or I wasn't trying to be involved too much into politics. But the day, I guess, the whole E. Jean Carroll the case came out, I can't defend a rapist and someone that has done that to a woman. I can't defend it. It's not okay.
well.
And
Well, Christopher, I appreciate all those items. That's great. Can I just my only question for you then is,
sure.
what are you going to do in the midterms?
I will be doing more research, definitely, but I will be voting for Democrat, especially
Great.
after having a kid. Like I said, I know people can change ways, people can be stuck in their ways, but ultimately, I like to have an open mind, and I like to be rational with my decisions, especially when it comes to my country. I want the best for my country, and my opinion on immigration has changed. I would love for immigrants, they boost the economy. They get the country up where it needs to be. I work around a lot of I don't know if they're illegal, I don't know if they're undocumented or if they came here legally, but I work around a lot of people. I live in small town. I go through small towns, so I see a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see that they wouldn't be here, everything that I'm trying to be respectful about it, because I know they're not in those high paying jobs, but at the same time, every job needs a position in this country filled, and a lot of the times those people fill those positions. So farming would go down. Everything has gone down since Donald Trump has implemented the ICE. We've lost job report was terrible.
Yeah.
The economy's gone up. It's just terrible. And the whole thing with Iran as a whole, he ran on no new wars. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I could go on so much.
No, exactly, friend.
It's
No.
terrible.
Listen, Christopher, I appreciate you. We're going to try to move on to some current
Yeah,
Trump
man.
support.
Yeah, I got your prompt.
No. But listen, I want to tell you, I appreciate the fact that you very well articulated your reasons. Number one, I appreciate that, and number two, I appreciate the fact that you're like, hey, I'm gonna do what I can, and I'm gonna change my vote in the midterms, and I'm gonna move forward. That I have respect for that. There's a lot of people that we talk to that have hem and hawed about Donald Trump, but then they're like, well, but I don't know if I'm gonna do anything about it. I'm saying I appreciate the fact that you wanna make a change and do it. So that's cool. So
Of
good
course,
for you, man.
and all women should have control over their own bodies, not the government. Thank you.
All right, let's go, man. All right, I appreciate you, Christopher. I hope you have a great day. Okay.
You too.
All right, take care.
I just want to say one thing, and this isn't just for Christopher; it's for everybody. If you're going to vote for a Democrat, please make sure that they are in fact a Democrat at least. There have been, and there will be, a few wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yes.
In the midterms. So please do just check that person is liberal at least, if not progressive / left leaning.
Yes.
Because
Amanda just said it. Look at Amanda just said like Fetterman.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Speaking of liberal, so I know I wasn't able to share in the news last night, but yeah, Plattner.
Dude, I wanted to talk about this so bad, and I didn't. I was like, I'm gonna hold on.
Oh, you didn't?
Well, I didn't. I think I mentioned it like real brief in passing, but I didn't really get into it. I'm pumped. I'm pumped too. Like Erika, you may not have heard about this, or maybe you heard about it, but did you hear that Janet Mills, who was in the Democratic primary with Graham Plattner, who's the 2-time governor of Maine, who like DNC endorsed candidate for Senate, dropped out yesterday because she's like, I've got no money left. I'm done. Like I'm out. So it's going to be Graham Plattner is the presumptive Democratic nominee for Senate in Maine.
Wow. And that's really important because we know that establishment Democrats are going to support like a certain kind of person, and it needs to I've said this so many times. If you want Democrats to get in at the midterms and then have a chance of winning the next like presidential election and remaining in, or even gaining seats in the next election, they need to be more progressive, and it needs to be good progress. Like people need to see it. That's excellent news.
Here we'll talk more about it in a second. Let's see this. Hi, thanks for calling the stream. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Hello?
Yeah, hi, thanks for calling the stream. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Nah, I voted for Adolf Hitler.
How the fuck old are you?
Yeah, you're too old.
Be the change that you want to see in the world and act like Hitler did at the very end. In fact, now that I think about it, we are at the anniversary, depending on your time zone.
Actually, yeah.
April 30th was the day that Hitler did one good thing in his entire life. The one good thing that Hitler did happened on April 30th, 1945. Yeah. 10 days after his birthday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to that caller, be the change you want to see in the world.
Do it. We best of luck to you, caller. The thing about the problem with Collins, Nemo, I think the problem that we run into is that hang on one second. Thanks for on the stream. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
Sorry, what was that?
How old are you and what state did you vote in?
I'm 29 and in California.
Okay. Why do you still support Donald Trump?
Because I see no change over here in California. We're in complete shit. Have been for years and years.
I'm not sure what that means.
You asked me why I still support him.
Uh-huh.
That was my reasoning.
So you're saying because California hasn't changed, that's why you support Donald Trump?
Yeah. Being under Democratic law, always, it's just run this place down. Homelessness is, it's insane. People always want to talk about poverty, but never want to bring up homelessness.
Uh-huh. Is just out of curiosity, is Donald Trump in charge of California?
Is that a more specific law? No, he's not the state governor. He's the president. You should know this.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, the only reason I was asking is because you seem to be confused because you're correlating your state with the president. So I was wondering why you were doing those two things.
Well, I'm just trying to grasp the whole of this is a very blue, area and everything like that.
I know you have the fourth largest economy in the world in California.
That lives off of it.
You have the fourth largest economy in the entire world. If California was its own country, it would be the fourth largest economy in the world. The reason California has a greater homeless problem than the rest of the country is because California has the most hospitable climate for being homeless. If you're going to be a homeless person.
What about Massachusetts then? They just saw a huge boost. That doesn't offer,
What?
climate.
A huge boost
The other
in
thing
what?
with California, I wouldn't say it's climate, it's cost of living. There's no opportunity for jobs.
There's no opportunity for jobs. Jesus Christ, there's plenty of jobs in California. Cost of living, yes, absolutely is high in California. I mean,
We get
I'm all
most of
for
our.
I'm all for expansion of helping
Who
the
am I
homeless.
talking to?
I mean,
Wait, hold on. I
is
was
that what
having a
you're advocating
conversation
for?
with one fucking person. Shut your mouth.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay,
I'm
calm
having a
down.
conversation
All right,
with one
it's
person.
okay, sweetie. Get a weighted blanket. Chill out.
Relax,
No.
dude.
I don't want gay boy in the background to start speaking. I'm speaking to one person.
Yo, relax, dude. There's if you didn't realize when you called in, there's
Thank
a
you.
panel of
Thank you.
people. So unless you can calm the fuck down and have a conversation like a normal adult with a couple of different
I'm
people,
trying to.
you can hang the
I'm
fuck
trying
up.
to.
Then hang the
With
fuck up.
you.
No, you can have a conversation with the three of us, or you can hang the fucking phone up. It's real simple.
Wait until he hears the British lady speak, Matt. He's gonna.
Oh my God, there's a British lady here.
Out.
I
Ah,
thought this
I
was
love that.
America.
America. Why are you talking
What?
about America politics, lady?
I love the British lady. She's badass.
Cool.
The
Correct.
illiterate dude. I don't know why he speaks.
What does illiterate
I don't
mean?
watch your show. I just saw this pop up and decided to call in because
What
I don't
does
understand
illiterate
why
mean?
Democrats like to just shove this humongous dildo up their ass of we love this, we love this, we love this. Yet when you guys
So-
obviously don't have a job, I mean, you
Sorry,
sit here on this
sorry,
stream all
excuse
the damn
me.
time.
Hi, I'm the badass British lady. First of all, where I live, it is 6:28 p.m. I've done a full day's work already, so you might want to shut up.
My work doesn't start until 8:00 tonight. I gotta go to work at 8:00, but that's cool, man. Anyway, like everyone
That's
doesn't have
full
the
of
same.
shit.
Everyone doesn't have the
That's
same.
full of shit.
Everyone doesn't
This
have the
guy's
same.
full of shit.
Everyone doesn't
Full
have
of
the
wait,
shit.
there's
same.
two
Full
of
of
them.
shit. Yeah, you're full of shit.
There are
There's
two.
two
There
of
are
them.
two of
So
them.
I do believe the British
It's so
lady.
funny. It's
The
so
British
funny that
lady
they're
I
complaining about
100%
talking to
believe.
multiples of us,
But
and there's
you are
actually two
full
of
of
them.
shit.
We've talked to these
Right?
guys. We've talked to them before. That's funny.
Who?
Oh wow!
Yeah, well, no,
I
we've
think
definitely- we've
Yeah,
talked
I
to them
do
before.
kind of remember them now.
Yeah. No, that's funny. It's so weird. It's so weird too how like if I didn't have work tonight, like how it's blocked off on my calendar already, but that's weird. Anyways, so strange,
What?
dude. What? What?
Dude, it's all blocked up on my calendar tonight.
By the way,
Just rambling about bullshit.
why
Dude, can
aren't
we talk
why
about
aren't
politics? This isn't even
why
fucking
aren't you
like,
sorry, hi, badass British lady here again. Why aren't you at work right now?
Yeah.
I don't work today. I work 4
That
4
sounds
days
like
a week.
Friday?
That sounds like bullshit to me.
10-hour shift.
Wait, he's
10-hour shift. I
Did
work
you
in a
say that he
shit
was
shop warehouse
26?
putting parts
29. He said he was 29.
29 years old. You don't work at 1:30
Yeah.
on a Friday.
together. No, I work 4 days a
That would
week,
imply that you have
10-hour
shift
shift,
work. Is that right?
putting shit together. Yeah, putting fucking stupid parts together. It's horrible.
Putting stupid parts together?
Yeah,
Oh,
For a
well, that
toilet.
explains why you're working that job.
yeah. Because there's no fucking good jobs in this democratic hellhole.
Well, it sounds like a skill issue to me.
Nemo, he isn't wrong. I mean, since Donald Trump has taken office, unemployment has gone up and manufacturing jobs have gone down by over 100,000.
Yeah, that tends to happen whenever you tariff the entire fucking world and piss everybody off,
Yeah, so
and then start a war.
exactly. So caller, you're not wrong, and the person you should be upset with is Donald Trump.
Gavin Newsom, mainly.
No, I
That
don't
idiot.
think you.
is
I don't.
fucking his best friend's wife.
I don't think you understand how that works.
Yeah, because it hasn't changed for 15 years. He hasn't been in office for 15 years. Didn't change.
It
when
hasn't
Biden
changed for
was there.
15 years. He hasn't been in office for 15 years. What?
In California, we have seen no difference. Doesn't matter the fucking president.
Then there was no
We're a
need to vote for
Democrat
Donald
ran
Trump, was
state.
there?
It's always
Yeah.
going to be Democrat here. So we're just fucked in the ass.
I don't why are you so
Stop.
obsessed with like
you beat me to it.
because 1 minute you're talking about, Schmeck's toys up people's butts. The next minute you're talking about being effed up the butt. It
Because
sounds
it's
like
implemented in
it's
our everyday society. They push,
no.
push
You
trans
don't
shit,
understand.
Trans this, trans that.
No,
So yeah, we
okay.
start talking about stuff in people's asses because that's all they fucking tell us through
Well,
schooling.
no.
When we're children,
I hope
when we're
I
children
hope you
here in
understand. I'm
California,
just
they
going to keep
promote us to be
talking.
gay more than to be
I'm
straight.
just going to keep talking. I hope you understand that you're completely telling on yourself right now. That's what
do you
you
mean?
are doing.
Telling on myself.
He doesn't understand.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
Bless him.
This is, oh, bless your little heart, kiddo.
Well, I'm sure that the 14 viewers are probably not enjoying this.
There's 625 that are in here right now on TikTok.
Yeah.
Way to go,
Well,
Chief.
good for them.
Yeah.
There's only fucking 10 on YouTube.
No, there's 50.
Please tell me
that's
that you're better at your job than you are at debating politics, because holy fuck, man.
Well, you guys don't talk about politics.
You know, it's weird. We were talking about
You-
politics
The
until
only
somebody.
thing you said was,
It's
"Why
weird.
did you
We
vote
were
for Donald
talking.
Trump?"
It's
I
weird.
said,
It's weird, kiddo.
"Yeah, sure
it's
I did,
hey,
because
hey,
California's
kiddo.
a shithole."
Shh, hey,
You
kiddo.
don't let it-
Hey, bud. Hey,
finish
bud.
a single
Relax.
sentence
Relax.
Because
relax.
you would rather have other people
Chief,
talk over
calm
the
down.
conversation.
Calm down. Relax.
Can I finish a single
but
sentence?
no, because we were talking
Can I
about.
finish a single sentence, or
No,
are you just going to keep on interrupting?
I've been trying to talk and you interrupted me.
Shut
We
the
were
fuck
talking about politics until you
Jesus.
decided to start being a whiny little bitch and complain that somebody
When
else
did
said
you
a
talk
sentence.
about politics?
When we
When did you
started,
talk about politics?
who is Donald
You
Trump?
asked me how I feel about
Who is
Donald
Donald Trump?
Who is Donald Trump?
Who is he currently?
Jesus Christ.
Is he the president of the United States of America?
Yes.
Is he the
What's
number
the
one?
capital of
Is he
the
the
United
number
States of
one? Is
America?
he the number one politician in the United States of America? So talking about Donald Trump is talking about. So talking about the number one politician in the United States of America is talking about.
I know this. It's butt sex.
I mean, that's probably his answer, but do you want to try again, kiddo?
No,
or
I was waiting
no?
for you to continue. What was that?
It's talking about
You spoke up. Hold on, sorry. What was that?
politics. There you go. Good
What
job.
about politics? What were you saying?
Butt sex.
You were talking about butt sex this whole time?
Yeah.
Fucking A, dude.
Fucking it.
I'm
I know
calling
you're
the
you're
right
sad.
dude.
You're really sad. You're sad that you missed that, right? I know. Okay.
Yeah. Is your friend cupping the, or no? You gotta tell him to cup him.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, and then what you do is you cup them in the hand, and with the fingertips behind you, just give a little tickle.
Yeah.
Just a little tickle.
A lot of nerve endings. Yeah.
Why do you guys? This is too much advice. Too much advice. Hey guys, our favorite little schnauzy who looks like the kid from the Mask movie with Cher is in the request. Bye, Fawcett.
He loves me. Fawcett
He
loves me.
He loves me too, but he's been blocked because no thanks. Bye.
For a second, I thought you were talking about someone else, because like you said, favorite schnauzy from the Mask movie, and I was definitely thinking of one with Jim Carrey, and I thought you were talking about Laura Loomer for a second, because she does actually kind of look like the bad guy from the Mask.
Rocky Dennis, exactly. Rocky Dennis. Somebody mentioned it one time, and then it was like, can never unsee it, never unthink it, which is just it's now one of my favorite things ever.
Do you know what's crazy? There's a tanky that hates me, and Fawcett and that tanky look almost exactly the same as one another.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
That's funny. I just have no desire to bring Fawcett. We've moved past like the that's an amusing conversation. Like he is firmly into disgusting white supremacist, white nationalist, Nazi territory, and I'm good.
Huck in the chat was asking about Plattner.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. Let's get back.
So, this is probably going to come up more now, seeing as he's going to be the Democratic nominee. And I do agree with Hawk, the lawyer creator on here. I do agree with him that there's probably going to be some establishment fuckery afoot soon enough. I do think that the Democratic establishment is going to work to try and keep Susan Collins in there. So keep that in mind. Now, Graham Plattner, people have heard different things about him. One thing that people hear about him is that he's basically John Fetterman. No, he's not. Number two is that he's a secret Yahtzee because he got a tattoo that's what's called a Totenkopf or Toten. Is it Toten or Totem? Totenkopf.
Toten. I believe it's
Toten.
Toten.
There we go.
I think, if I'm correct.
Totenkopf, which is German for death's head. It's a certain skull that was used by SS officers. So I recognized it when I saw it, but I'm also terminally online and a World War II nerd, so I pick up on those things. It does seem like a lot of people, closer to, I guess, normie level politics interest, they didn't realize the meaning behind it. But anyway, when he was told that it was a Yahtzee tattoo, when he was told like the history behind it and stuff, he got it covered up. So there you go. Now people are saying that, well, he got it covered up, but don't you think it's weird that he got it in the first place? He's given the story behind it, which is that he got it while he was deployed. His unit was, I guess, on leave or whatever in Croatia, which, I mean, if you know anything about Croatia, I could see that. Going into a random tattoo shop in Croatia, I could absolutely see them just casually having a Totenkopf on the wall. And he said he just like picked a random skull and bones one and just got it. That was the idea.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's his story about it, and he's been pressed on it multiple times, and his story hasn't changed. I think that to anybody who is using this as some type of proof that he is secretly a Yahtzee or something, I mean, nah. So his Reddit account was, I guess, found out, and if you are secretly a Yahtzee, Reddit is famous for anonymity, right? If you are secretly a Yahtzee, then on an anonymous account, you would be Yahtzee posting. We don't see that on that account. Are there some things that are, not great or insensitive or whatever? Sure, yeah, but it's not Yahtzee posting. And that's the key thing. To anybody who's trying to say that, oh, he had a Totenkopf and that's proof that he's a Yahtzee. Well, his Reddit account says otherwise. Also, Bernie Sanders endorsed him.
And Elizabeth Warren.
Bernie Sanders, the Jewish man, endorsed him. Bernie Sanders, the most left-wing politician in Washington, D.C., the Jewish man, endorsed him, endorsed Graham Plattner. So I feel like if Graham Plattner was secretly a Yahtzee, Bernie Sanders would not have endorsed him. And I think that to anyone who is trying to make hay out of this and to say that, oh, but actually, no, he's still a Yahtzee. No, stop. Please stop. Like, I mean, Bernie endorsed him. That should put that to bed, okay? If you don't like Graham Plattner, please articulate why. This idea that, oh, hey, well, he's not perfect because he said some insensitive shit on his Reddit account one time or like 10 years ago or whatever. Yeah, a lot of people did, especially when it's anonymous. A lot of people say that type of shit, right? And honestly, in context, it's, I mean, it's insensitive, but it doesn't betray a broader belief of, I don't know, racism or sexism or bigotry, right? People are going to point to his service while he was in Blackwater.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I get it. You know, it's Blackwater. People are going to say that, well, he was a machine gunner in Blackwater, and that's proof that he wants to just unalive brown people. I mean, he talked about his service, and that's one of those complicated subjects where there is it's more than just, oh, I want to go unalive people, right? Go talk to any combat vet that you know, preferably that you know, not a random combat vet, please, because you don't know if they like to talk about that. Try and find a combat vet that you know and ask them politely if they wouldn't mind just talking about, their time over there, their service, how do they feel about it, that kind of thing.
Thanks for calling the stream. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Hey, I just hope you get cancer.
Oh, kiddo. That's a weird, terrible thing to say. I hope your mommy spanks you for that.
How do you know that any of us don't have that already? That would be an incredibly insensitive thing to say if one of us had it.
Exactly.
What a weird thing to do.
Oh, wait. I bet it's them again. Thanks for calling. Oh, they hung up.
They know you can block the number, right? They know that?
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so in terms of Plattner, Nemo, I mean, I think I personally took the whole explanation. It made total sense to me, and I won't simplest explanation here made the most sense. I was like, yeah, okay. And like you said, there's nothing else that points us in the direction of his beliefs. It's not like, as some people were pointing out in the comments, like Pete Hegseth's tattoos that you can easily pair up with his rhetoric, with his writings, with the things that he's said. Like, it's pretty fucking obvious, right? That's totally different. With Plattner, we have none of that. Now, I was curious how quickly we would have any sort of polling or any sort of information. And if you guys, I want to preface this by saying Susan Collins is easily one of the most difficult Republican incumbents that we've seen in modern political history. There have been times when people are like, "Oh yeah, she should lose her seat," and she's bounced it. Okay, like for real, she's very resilient. So I want to point that out. However, Kalshi right now has him at 70%. Polymarket has him at 76%.
God damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. So now it's 73%. My bad. 73% on Polymarket.
That's 2-to-1 odds. Holy shit.
That is insane. That is legitimately insane. Just to be totally clear. It's crazy.
All right.
So the early numbers are favorable. He, I do agree, though. I do think that there's definitely going to be some establishment pushback on him. That might be the biggest. That might be the biggest problem.
Yeah. I mean, that is why I think it's important for people who are like-minded, if they're, I mean, especially if you're a progressive, like if you're a moderate or whatever. I mean, I can make a pitch for him from a centrist or whatever point of view as well. But I mean, if you are a progressive and you wish that this country looked more like what Bernie Sanders wants and less like what Donald Trump or, I mean, fuck, even Gavin Newsom or Cory Booker or I'm trying to think of other moderates. Fuck, blank. Chuck Schumer.
Yeah,
They're like
exactly.
if you want more Bernies and fewer Chucks, then vote for Graham Plattner or support Graham Plattner. Like, do something with that, right? People are going again. The attempts at trying to undermine support for him because of his past. I need to know what the standard is. I need to know. Because if you're a leftist and you're doing this, wow, holy fuck. Let's talk about Lenin. Let's talk about Stalin. Let's talk about Trotsky. Let's talk about their lives before they went into politics. Let's talk about that, but I'm sure that you would probably be okay with them, right? In some way, or you would be able to explain it away. You'd be able to say, well, something, right?
Right.
Especially for the left people, right? You would be able to explain that away. Why? Because ultimately, the actions of the person, you don't need a perfect individual to make change. Demanding perfection, demanding absolute purity is detrimental to a movement.
The bottom line with Plattner is that some people were you guys are saying like, well, the like the Democratic, like the DNC and like some of the socials are starting to promote him and different things like that. When we say like that the establishment is going to try to take him down, like it's not going to be like that. I mean, it'll be like a leaked piece of something. It'll be a hit piece. It'll be someone will get something to the press, etc. Like that. That's what that looks like. It's not the Democratic Party in open revolt against him, because if the Democratic Party goes out in open revolt against him, then we all get upset about it openly. That's they know that. That's not going to work.
But hang on a second. Didn't you say that his opposition, his Democrat Party backed opposition, has dropped out?
Yeah. We're just pointing out the fact that because of the fact that he's so progressive and that he could be seen as a threat to the Democratic Party establishment, that there is a chance that they could try to get him eliminated before the general. That they could. But
then they wouldn't have a candidate, would they?
Well, then they could fall back on Janet Mills, right?
Yeah,
because then everyone would have to shift their support to her.
The alternative is they can literally through back channels support Susan Collins, right? I think that the way to look at this on how the establishment would go about trying to undermine the Democratic nominee would be through if you look at what happened with Zohran Mamdani. So what's his name? The older brother. Former governor of New York.
Cuomo.
Andrew
Cuomo.
Yeah, Andrew Cuomo. So Andrew Cuomo was running to be mayor of New York on the Democratic ticket. He got his ass kicked because Zohran Mamdani is based as fuck, and the greatest tragedy is that he was not born in the U.S. because he would be a president 100%, 1,000%. He would be a president if he was born here, because that guy can charm the most red hattiest right wing motherfucker, literally Donald Trump, smiling and just being all cushy with him in the Oval Office while he's standing right next to him and refused to walk back his comments about Trump being a fascist. Number one, Mamdani has the balls. Number two, that's proof that everybody likes him, right? But in any case, during that race, Mamdani locked down the nomination, but the support was behind Andrew Cuomo. The establishment was throwing as much money as possible behind him. They wanted him so bad because, again, Andrew Cuomo is establishment, moderate, whatever. And then when Mamdani locked down the nomination, they still threw money behind Andrew Cuomo to run as a spoiler, hoping that he could split the vote and allow a Republican to be mayor. So that's how that would work. It wouldn't be like open support; it would be quiet support.
Yeah, it's just they just really don't like him. They really don't like a lot of the. That's why they've been reticent. They were reticent in supporting him. Janet Mills didn't name him when she dropped out. She didn't say, hey, I put my support behind it. Like these guys, it's just not there. For these further left progressives, and they're not the mainstream establishment DNC folks. They're not embracing it. They're not embracing them. And the only way that we're going to overcome it, like said, is to vote more of them in. So then they're not fighting against the establishment. They're kind of part of it, so that they have more control. Because these people threaten Chuck Schumer. Like Chuck Schumer is gonna get primaried by AOC. He's gonna get primaried by AOC. Period.
Yep.
The end. He is directly threatened by her. So.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Schumer, his popularity is down. I mean, AOC is going to primary him, and I think she's going to win. I really do think that she would win. If you had asked me 6 years, or the last time that Schumer ran for Senate, AOC wasn't there yet as far as popularity. And I say that as someone who loves AOC. I do. She's great. Awesome. Also, politically, just the analysis of it, she was not there. Popularity-wise, to beat Chuck Schumer in New York. But now she is.
100%. Absolutely. Erika and I, while we wait for some folks to call in, Erika and I had talked about this, and I think is a brilliant idea. And I've been wanting to go over it. Would be we wanted to talk with you guys about King Charles' speech to Congress, and what we wanted to do was we wanted to kind of point out a bunch of the things that he said in there that were probably missed, and in all of the different slights and little jabs and different things that he took, as brought to you by a real live British person. So
Hi, I'm a badass British bee.
Exactly. So I have that here. And in truly embarrassing fashion, in the search bar, I searched Prince Charles' speech to Congress.
I can't stop calling him Prince Charles.
It's just one of those things. Like fuck. So, anyways.
Mr. Speaker, Their Majesty's King Charles.
So, anyways, let's we'll take a look and let's go through and see. Erika, you can
Can
tell.
I-
Yeah, please.
The first thing that pissed me off about this was he called him King Charles of England. That's not even his title.
What would be the proper title?
Oh, it's a proper Game of Thrones situation. It's like Breaker of Chains, like it's about 50 words long, but none of those words is England. So
Amazing.
Yeah, isn't it? I've seen like the passport. My ex I looked at her passport one time, and it was this lengthy ass thing. So it's
the name of
the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern
and
Ireland.
Northern Ireland. That's the name. But don't forget, he's also King of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and a good dozen other places around the world.
Random islands.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yes. Clappy, clappy, clappy. Okay. Okay. All right. There we go. Erika, you just tell me when to pause it.
Mr. Vice President,
Yep.
Mr. Speaker, members of Congress, representatives of the American people across all states, territories, cities, and communities. I would like, if I may, to take this opportunity to express my particular gratitude to you all for the great honor of addressing this joint meeting of Congress, and on behalf of the Queen and myself, to thank the American people for welcoming us to the United States to mark this semi-quincentennial year of the Declaration of Independence.
Right, stop.
And for
I just want you to know that the reason he addressed the year like that is just to let everyone know that he's smart, right? That was a don't fuck with me move. The semi-quincentennial year.
Love me a good semi-quincentennial.
Don't we all?
I mean, it's a good time.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, that's fine. More of that, please.
all of that time,
Can I also just point out that one thing that frustrates the fuck out of me for this speech is the amount of wrongly placed applause. Like, there is so much applause that is it's wrong. Like, why they don't wait for the correct natural pauses, and they interrupt a number of his sentences, and it bugs the fuck out of me.
aren't you lucky? And for all of that time, our destinies as nations have been interlinked. As Oscar Wilde said, we have really everything in common with America nowadays, except, of course, language. So, ladies and gentlemen, we meet in times of great uncertainty, in times of conflict from Europe to the Middle East, which pose immense challenges for the international community and whose impact is felt in communities the length and breadth of our own countries. We meet, too, in the aftermath of the incident not far from this great building that sought to harm the leadership of your nation and to foment wider fear and discord. Let me say with unshakable resolve, such acts of violence will never succeed.
I kind of want to see Vance's face, and I'm pissed that I can't see their reactions to some of the stuff he says later on, because we'll talk about it when we get there, but there are certain points where he talks to specific people and is calling them out for things. And I want to see their reaction to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The camera angle they used is crappy.
Yeah, and it's kind of the one C-SPAN feed, and it's just kind of like everyone gets the same thing basically. So it kind of sucks. But yeah.
Whatever our differences, whatever disagreements we may have, we stand united in our commitment to uphold democracy, to protect all our people from harm, and to salute the courage of those who daily risk their lives in the service of our countries. Standing here today, it is hard not to feel the weight of history on my shoulder, because the modern relationship between our two nations and our own peoples spans not merely 250 years, but over 4 centuries. It is extraordinary to think that I am the 19th in our line of sovereigns to study with daily attention the affairs of America. So I come here today with the highest respect for the United States Congress, this citadel of democracy created to represent the voice of all American people to advance sacred rights and freedoms. Speaking in this renowned chamber of debate and deliberation, I cannot help but think of my late mother, Queen Elizabeth, who in 1991 was also afforded this signal honor and similarly spoke under the watchful eye of the Statue of Freedom above us. Today, I am here on this great occasion in the life of our nations to express the highest regard and friendship of the British people to the people of the United States. Now, as you may know, when I address my own Parliament at Westminster, we still follow an age-old tradition and take a member of Parliament hostage, holding him or her at Buckingham Palace until I am safely returned. These days, we look after our guests rather well, to the point that they often do not want to leave. I don't know, Mr. Speaker, if there were any volunteers for that role here today. As I look back across the centuries, Mr. Speaker, there emerge certain patterns, certain self-evident truths from which we can learn and draw mutual strength. With the spirit of 1776 in our minds, we can perhaps agree that we do not always agree, at least in the first instance. Indeed, the very principle on which your Congress...
something out really quick. There are several points during this speech where he deliberately pulls from foundational documents of the US. He deliberately pulls the way he's speaking from the Declaration of Independence, from the Constitution, and using the phrase self-evident is one of those times. Just to point out, he's doing this on purpose. He's using language that Congress people should, know really well and revere. Yeah, on purpose.
Excellent.
Was founded no taxation without representation, was at once a fundamental disagreement between us and at the same time a shared democratic value which you inherited from us. Ours is a partnership born out of dispute, but no less strong for it. So perhaps in this example, we can discern that our nations are in fact instinctively like-minded, a product of the common democratic, legal, and social traditions.
Well, we're going to keep going, but it looks like we got somebody in the box. Truth Teller, hello, you're a Trump supporter, correct?
Yeah, Trump supporter, 33.
Okay, what state are you in?
California.
Okay. Why do you still support Donald Trump?
We had two candidates, right? We had Harris or Trump. Trump was definitely the better option. With Harris, it would have been a complete disaster.
Hang
we would
on.
have had a complete
That's Smek.
implementation
You're
of the third
hang
world.
on.
This is Smex.
Yeah, why did you lie? Immediately again.
Because you guys always kick me when I say I'm not from.
Well, I'm not American, but they don't kick me. Just be honest.
That's fair. Why do people have a bias like that, though?
Can you stop eating, please?
Sorry, Nemo.
That's a simple request. Can you please stop eating?
Yes.
Anyways, so you support Donald Trump, even though you're Canadian. And also, you didn't even answer the question that I asked you. The question that I asked you wasn't, why did you vote for Donald Trump in November of 2024, which obviously you didn't vote for Donald Trump, but why did you support Donald Trump in November of 2024? That's not the question I asked. The question is, why would you still support Donald Trump in April of 2026? Why do you still support him now?
Because I think we're still on the right path. We're going to go through a lot of bullshit, but it's going to come out on the better end. So,
Who's we in this scenario?
the whole Western civilization.
Oh.
Canada's going bankrupt. Europe's going bankrupt. We're not in a good situation right now. UK
The
is not
US
in a good
has a-
situation. UK is not in a good situation.
The US has
And it's
a
all going to be
higher-
reversed. Because it was great 15 years ago, and now it's a shithole.
The US has a higher debt to GDP ratio than my country does, like significantly higher.
I agree. They have more credit, though.
So who's going bankrupt?
Not the States. They have more credit than you do.
Do we?
You do. That's
You
why
wanna
you
talk
can go.
about-
That's why
when
you can go
when
39 trillion in debt.
When you say credit,
Yep.
can you please explain what you mean by credit? Are you saying like in more of like a nebulous metaphorical sense or in the literal sense?
I'm saying in the literal sense, credit.
Oh, okay. What's our
The
credit?
states, the United States, because it's the military-industrial leader of the world, it technically has unlimited credit.
Okay,
There's no one that's going to tell them
that's
they
a
can't
nebulous
stop printing
metaphorical
money.
sense. That was my question. That's a nebulous metaphorical
No, because
sense.
who gives
A
the
literal
credit?
sense,
The
like
World
an
Bank
action-
gives the credit, correct?
Uh-huh.
For all the countries, correct?
So if we are doing credit in that sense, hold on. If we're doing credit in that sense, then let's look at the credit rating agencies as it pertains to the United States, please.
Yeah, we can look at that if you want. I'm saying there's no
Okay.
other reason why we could go 39 trillion. You guys could go 39 trillion in debt without anyone saying anything.
So Moody's,
It's because the World
And-
Bank allows it. The World Bank controls all currency around the world.
No,
They are the one world government.
that's not what the
That's
World
not
Bank
what the
does.
World Bank
That is what the World Bank does, and that's what the
it's
bank.
not.
Oh
Does the
my
Bank of
God.
International Settlement settle all debts for governments? Yes or no?
That's not what the World Bank does there, Chief.
What does the Bank of International Settlements
Oh
do?
my God, dude.
We can go through this. Matt, what does the Bank of International Settlements do?
Oh my God, dude. Why?
They settle debt, correct? Who allows them to dictate who can settle debt and who can't, and on what metric?
The two things that you just said aren't commensurate with each other there, Chief.
They are, because the World Bank and the BIS are pretty much one entity.
Okay, the World Bank is the one world government. Got it. Okay, bud.
Correct.
Whatever
Yeah.
you say.
Controls
Sure.
controls all the money worldwide through the central bank proxies.
Okay, Chief.
That's why we've been invading multiple countries to set up central banks. Look at Iraq. Look at Afghanistan. Look
sure.
at Libya. Look at
Uh-huh.
Syria.
Okay.
Look at Cuba.
Uh huh.
After the, Do they not all have central banks?
Sure, buddy. Whatever you say. That's good. Great.
Am I wrong?
You're good job. You just keep on going. Whatever you say.
Do you have anything to back? So what? I'm just wrong.
Well, I do. The BIS is owned by its member central banks, not by the World Bank.
Yeah, correct.
So it's not owned by the World Bank. It's nothing to do
All
with
owned by the
World
same
Bank.
people.
No, they're not
The
all
board of
owned.
directors
Right.
that are the board of directors for all the central
They
banks in the
don't
world.
own it. They don't
They're
own
the same
it.
group. They're all part of
They
the same group.
don't own it.
And the quicker you guys realize this, the quicker you realize you've been enslaved to this entire
They
system.
don't.
And it's
own-
completely Ponzi scheme.
They don't own it. You don't know what you're talking about.
The board of directors on the BIS, which are the membering central banks of each country, are the board members, control everything.
You really can't be this dumb. I really are you really this dumb? Is the school system really that bad where you are in Canada?
No, not at all.
I don't know. I'm starting to think it because Erika's 100% right that you do realize that the same people.
So in
don't-
your eyes, how does the financial system
I'm
work?
so sorry. I was in the middle of a sentence, which is the same people don't own all of the banks that you just listed off. It's verifiable.
They control them.
fact. No, they don't. No, they don't. Wrong.
Why is every central bank
Great.
tied?
Since you say
tied to
that
the
they
BIS?
great. Since you say that they all are controlled
No
by the
central
same
bank is just a
people. Excuse me. Since you say that they're all controlled by the same people, prove it with an actual source that would show that the decisions are being made for all central banks by the same group.
Well, what you
Taping the
need
board
to-
of dir-
I'm just
taping the
going to
board-
let
let's go-
you. I'm just going to let you know what you would have to do. You would have to find the names of the board of directors for the BIS, the names of the board directors for the World Bank, and you would have to correlate each one with the other.
Yup.
They're all part of the same group,
So can you do what I said or no?
which is created
Or are
through a
you just
commercial
gonna
system
say, or
under
are
the
you just
UCC.
going to keep saying the same bullshit over and over instead of actually proving your claim? Prove your claim.
So are the board of directors.
Prove your claim or admit you can't.
I'm doing that right now. The board.
No. Proving your claim would
won't
be
even let me
providing
talk.
us a source. You don't need to talk about it. You just need to provide a source for your information. Telling us the information is nothing. Provide your source, please.
Go to the Bank of International Settlement.
No, that's not how that works.
That is how that works.
No, give us a source.
I just told you the website.
Okay, so what? You want me to go to the Bank of International Settlements and then what?
We're going to go to their board of directors,
Okay.
like Erika said.
Uh-huh. And then what?
And who are these individuals? Which countries do they belong to?
I'm still waiting for what you want me to do.
Japan, the States, England, Spain, France.
England's not a country that has anybody on a board of
Actually,
directors, just so we
you're
know.
wrong, actually.
Let me look it up.
Anyways, what's your point? Would you get to the point already? What's your
Yeah,
source?
my point is that this board of directors controls these settlements of government entities when they're consolidating debt. They control who can settle that debt. And each one of these are members of different central banks, and they all belong to a parent central bank called the World Bank, if you knew anything about banking.
Yeah. Again, you still haven't proven your point, bud. God, you really... What part of this is difficult for you to understand?
If you have a group of bankers that are all part of the same
all
group
that you're
called the
doing
BIS,
is you're just making assumptions.
that are also involved
Stop
in-
it. Shut the fuck up. You're just making assumptions at this point.
I'm
and
not.
connections that don't exist.
do exist.
Prove it.
Keep defending the scam.
All right, bud. Whatever.
Keep defending the scam.
Okay, buddy. Whatever.
Keep defending the UCC scam.
God damn it.
Keep defending the Uniform Commercial Code scam. That's been enslaving all of us for the longest time. Since we got rid of the gold standard. It's been enslaving everybody. Setting up central banks around the world, infiltrating terrorist wars.
Yep.
all across the Middle
Great.
East.
Well, guess what?
Just-
You voted for Donald Trump.
Just to set up
Well, then
central
great.
banks.
Well, you voted for Donald Trump, who's completely supporting the system and fucking us all over.
Iran already has
completely fucking us all over with it. So why did you vote for somebody then who's completely buying into and supporting and propping up that system if it's fucking us over? You fucking moron.
He's completely destroying.
He's not.
He
You
is.
fucking moron.
House of Saud and House of...
Oh, he's not doing it.
Carlisle
Oh,
funded
really?
all these organizations.
Oh, really? He's not doing it?
He's destroying it.
How is he destroying it?
Let's go through the list,
How is
shall
he
we?
destroying it?
We want to go through the
How
list?
is he destroying it? How is he destroying it?
By eliminating the people that were involved in it.
Really? Like who?
Like Queen Elizabeth, like Jacob Rothschild, like Benjamin Rothschild,
Hang
like
on.
David Rockefeller,
No. Right. Queen
my
Elizabeth was in her
like George Bush
fucking-
Sr.
Queen Elizabeth was in her 90s, sir.
So was George Bush
He's
Sr.
also involved in the Picton murders. You can go through that too. if you want.
Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, listen. I
have all the evidence.
I'm embarrassed for you now. Okay, listen. Whatever
I have all the evidence.
whatever medication you are not taking that you need to be taking, and I mean this like actually very sincerely.
That's fine. I was right about it.
Not jokingly.
I was right about Epstein.
Not
You keep
jokingly,
denying it.
dude. Seriously, you need.
We'll eventually learn this
All
stuff.
right, All right. Well, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to platform that, and I mean that very sincerely. Like there's. It sounds like there's some sort of real chemical imbalance going on there. It's not right.
By the way, I just went through the names of the board of directors of the BIS and the board of directors of the World Bank. And guess how many names I found in common between the two?
It's funny, Erika, because I had them both up on my screen. How many did you find?
0, 0, zip, zilch,
Zero.
nada.
Yeah, same here. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I mean, if Truth Teller is still listening, you may want to look up the previous positions that Scott Bessent has had, who he's worked for. He's the current Treasury Secretary, but you may want to look up who his former bosses were.
For like 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, whatever. What do we know, right? Anyways.
I just think it's sad when someone falls so far down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole that they can no longer see daylight. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emma said, tell the rest of us. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. So Bessent worked for George Soros.
Yeah. It really blows a hole in the whole, Trump's dismantling that system and blah, 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 when you literally hire George Soros' right-hand man for 30 years. But, it's cool. Cool story. Anyways, guys, if you voted for Donald Trump, hop in the box over here on TikTok. If you're over on the tube, you can call the number that's above my head, or you can call the number that is pinned in the chat. If you would like to offer additional support to Erika or Nemo or myself, we have links in our bios for all of the various apps. If you're over here on TikTok, you can help us by doing things like closing out the live goal or gifting each of our friends here. Real simple. Thank you to our friend Tina over on the tube for that gift of the jewels. So anyways, while we wait to see if we get any more Trump supporters who'd like to have conversations with us, let's continue watching King Charles.
Well, you can still, by the way, you can still request if you're a Trump supporter, and you can still call in. Okay? We still want to talk to you. We're just doing this. We're doing this while we're waiting.
Yes. Like I said, you guys, we still want to talk to you. So come on in. Let's go.
in which our governance is rooted to this day. Drawing on these values and traditions, time and again, our two countries have always found ways to come together. And by Jove, Mr. Speaker, when we have found that way to agree, what great change is brought about, not just for the benefit of our peoples, but of all peoples. This, I believe, is the special ingredient in our relationship. As President Trump himself observed during his state visit to Britain last autumn, the bond of kinship and identity between America and the United Kingdom is priceless and eternal. It is irreplaceable and unbreakable.
Nemo, I also cut the by Jove. I like that.
By Jove.
By Jove.
I think it's important to say at this point, he might be the only British person who is still saying by Jove.
Erika, don't lie.
I've
Stop
never
covering.
said it.
Shut up. Stop covering. Okay, we all know you guys just walk around everywhere saying that shit. Okay, just don't. You don't have to pretend. All of you.
Yeah, I said by Jove 50 times today. By Jove, will you shut the fuck up and let me teach you a lesson? Yeah.
By Jove, she's got it.
The
rain is based mainly on the plane.
The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plane. Anyways, I'm gonna do this before Erika gets mad.
He's bringing it back.
Mr. Speaker, this is by no means my first visit to Washington, D.C., the capital of this great republic. It is, in fact, my 20th visit to the United States and my first as King and head of the Commonwealth. This is a city which symbolizes a period in our shared history, or what Charles Dickens might have called a tale of two Georges.
Okay, do we all get that? Who the two Georges are? Washington and the third.
King George the Third. Yeah. Good. Appropriate laughter.
The first president, George Washington, and my 5 times great-grandfather, King George III. King George, as you know, never set foot in America, and please rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, I am not here as part of some cunning rearguard action.
You'll be
The
back.
founding fathers were bold and imaginative rebels with a cause. 200.
I enjoyed the rebels with a cause line. I thought that was a good. I thought it was a good line. Just saying.
"250 years ago, or as we say in the United Kingdom, just the other day."
Right. He's also asserting authority there. He's saying, my country's 1,000 years old, yours is 250 years old.
Yeah.
You know, line the fuck up.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
They declared independence by balancing contending forces and drawing strength in diversity. They united 13 disparate colonies to forge a nation on the revolutionary idea of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
He threw in there. He threw in there. Drawing strength on diversity. He's throwing in. Throughout the rest of the speech, he throws in all of these little lines that could be considered throwaways, but they're not throwaways.
He did that right at the beginning as well. He talked about all of your communities and freedom for every American.
Yep, absolutely.
So he he's doing that great thing that great speeches do, where they call back to previous things that they've said, and they reiterate repetition of the same points over and over again.
100%.
They carried with them and carried forward the great inheritance of the British Enlightenment, as well as the ideals which had an even deeper history in English common law and Magna Carta.
Do you want to stop there for a sec?
Yep.
Right.
We've talked about this.
Yeah. So anyone who doesn't know, and I don't want to teach my grandma to suck eggs, for she has been unalive for some time and she would not like it. But Magna Carta, Donald Trump, interestingly, referenced this in his welcoming speech to the King and Queen when he talked about the document signed at Runnymede. Magna Carta is the document signed at Runnymede. I, for one, was amazed that Donald Trump could pronounce the word Runnymede. But in 1215, King John II was getting a bit big for his boots, and the barons didn't like it. So they dragged him down to Runnymede, where he was made to sign this document called the Magna Carta. And this was the first in a series. So this was in 1215. Yeah, the Robin Hood villain, the exact same King John. Yeah.
Literally
the same King John. He was made to sign this document, taking an element of power away from the king. And what it meant was that for the first time, the laws that applied to everybody also applied to the king. So he's talking about, and again, it's another theme of this speech, that power should not just be invested in the executive, that power should be invested in the hands of the people. That's what he's talking about. And he'll reiterate that several times in this speech.
These roots run deep, and they are still vital. Our Declaration of Rights of 1689 was not only the foundation of our constitutional monarchy, but also provided the source of so many of the principles reiterated, often verbatim, in the American Bill of Rights of 1791. And those roots go even further back in history. The US Supreme Court Historical Society has calculated that Magna Carta is cited in at least 160 Supreme Court cases since 1789, not least as the foundation of the principle that executive power is subject to checks and balances.
I mean, that one's obvious. And you get a standing ovation from the Dems right there. You see that?
Yeah. Oh, somebody's at the door. I'm still here, though.
All right. We'll keep going. Hopefully it's not someone to... Yeah. Okay. Be safe, Erika.
They're not going to take me away. It's fine. Okay. I have a delivery.
Okay, good.
This is the reason why there stands a stone by the River Thames at Runnymede, where Magna Carta was signed in the year 1215. This stone records that an acre of that ancient and historic site was given to the United States of America by the people of the United Kingdom to symbolize our shared resolve in support of liberty and in memory of President John F. Kennedy. Distinguished members of the 119th Congress, it is here in these very halls that this spirit of liberty and the promise of America's founders is present in every session and every vote cast, not by the will of one, but by the deliberation of many, representing the living mosaic of the United States.
Right.
Yeah,
You're going to say exactly what I'm going to say. Go on. No, you go.
I mean, it's obvious. I mean, not by the will of one, but by the will of many elected representatives. I mean, he's pointing out, but that this isn't a dictatorship. Not a that's it. It's very simple. It's very direct, actually.
And the mosaic again is referring to diversity, like lots of little tiles that make a picture all together.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way, Marcia, over on the tube for the gift of the jewels. Appreciate that. Once again, guys, real quick, we appreciate you being here. We're just doing a quick watch through of the King's speech that he gave to Congress. If you voted for Donald Trump, we'd invite you to hop up in the box over here on TikTok, or you can call in if you're on the tube or on Twitch. We've got just over 700 viewers at this point. So we're just waiting to see. We'd like to talk to you. Please continue to offer your support. If you're enjoying yourself, to myself and to Erika and Nemo, you can do so via the gifts here on TikTok, or via links in our bios over here, or you can find links in the description of the YouTube video right down here. It's real simple. Or if you like, you can send me a super chat over on the tube. Any of those things, we appreciate you. But we're going to keep watching through the speech.
In both of our countries, it is the very fact of our vibrant, diverse, and free societies that gives us our collective strength, including to support victims of some of the ills that so tragically exist in both our societies today. And, Mr. Speaker, for many here, and for myself, the Christian faith is a firm anchor and daily inspiration that guides us, not only personally,
Let him finish his fucking sentence.
I told you guys. Inappropriate applause. Inappropriate applause.
that guides us not only personally, but together as members of our community. Having devoted a large part of my life to interfaith relationships and greater
Does anybody else?
understanding,
I just want to.
it is
Does
that
anyone
faith
else?
in the
Hold
triumph.
on. I don't. You should.
I just get the feeling that the Republicans stood for one half of that sentence and the Democrats stood for the other.
Yeah.
100%. That was like it was kind of like a should have waited for the whole thing. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. That's
Well, I
Light
want to
over
point out. Oh,
darkness.
hang on a minute
all.
before you restart.
No worries.
When Charles was, when his coronation happened. Sorry, I have a mouthful of something. He said instead of saying defender of the faith, he said that he was defender of the faiths. Normally, sorry, I was just swallowing. They just say they're defender of the faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said defender of the faith. So he has a really deep respect for religious people, no matter what their religion is. And he has really good relationships with people from across religious boundaries, because he understands that we in the UK, much as you do in the United States, live in a multi-ethnic, multi-race, multi-faith society, and that it's important that we acknowledge that. Not acknowledging that is one of the things that causes extremism. Not acknowledging other groups of people is one of the things that is a cause of extremism. So he's like, Nope, I'm acknowledging everybody.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Good for him. You know, he does more things that I like. I think he's grown on me a bit, Erica. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna say the same thing. Like, a lot of people have said things like he should, I can't remember the word, but resign his place as king and let
Abdicate.
William abdicate. Thank you, Nemo. And let William take over. I think some of his core principles, just as a human, he's a huge environmentalist and has been his entire life. He talks about that later on in the speech. But what this shows is what a lifetime of being taught how to be a statesman can give you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always been for a number of these causes, by the way, and I will give him credit for being consistent in a number of things. Like Erika talks about him being pro-environmental causes and different things. That goes back 40 years. Like, that's well documented. That you can see his interest and involvement in different things like that. And so, I respect that. It's not a thing that he like picked up because it was it became trendy in the last 10 years for politicians to care about a thing, whatever. I give him credit for that. That's all. So
and just another thing to point out, he's only 2 years younger than Donald Trump. Donald Trump's 79, right? Still 70, or is he 80 now?
No, he turns 80 in June.
June.
Because it coincides with the army. Yeah,
of course it does. So he is only 2 years younger than Donald Trump.
Damn.
I know, right? He stays active. Like, you can just tell that, like, he stays active. His mind is active. Maybe obviously not as much as but clearly he's staying physically active, and it just makes a world of difference. Like, it just makes all the difference.
Oh, hang on. And he's 2 years and 5 months younger than Donald Trump, because his birthday is November 14th, the day after mine.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yes, even after cancer.
Which I have found confirmed countless times. Through it, I am inspired by the profound respect that develops as people of different faiths grow in their understanding of each other. It is why, it is my hope, my prayer, that in these turbulent times, working together and with our international partners, we can stem the beating of plowshares into swords.
Oh, wait. I know what a plowshare. It took me a sec. I know what it is. Okay.
You're like, wait, I got that one. I done got that one.
I am mindful that we are still in the season of Easter, the season that most strengthens my hope. It is why I believe with all my heart that the essence of our two nations is a generosity of spirit and a duty to foster compassion, to promote peace, to deepen mutual understanding, and to value all people of all faiths and of none.
And of none. That's not something you hear very often, just FYI.
Yeah.
Oh, you hear it quite often here.
Nemo, can you think of another time when you heard a politician make mention of faith and then also mention the people, also like give a shout out to like the people that don't have faith? Like, honestly, can you? I genuinely cannot. Sincerely.
Well, just to point out, in our last census, Christianity, we have a state religion, which is Christianity. King Charles is the head of our state religion.
He's the head of the Bank of England.
Yeah, the head of the Bank of England, correct. Okay, older millennial. Are you okay, Joe? He's head of the Bank of England, obviously. Him and Mark Carney run it together. But he is the leader of the state religion. Therefore, he is considered to be God's representative on earth, much like the Pope is for Catholics, but for people who are members of the Church of England. Yeah, you would call it Anglican, or I think it's the same as Episcopalian, or very similar to Episcopalian. But Matt's looking it up, is it? I think it's very similar to Episcopalian.
Similar. I don't know if they're the same, but similar.
But he's like he's the equivalent of the Pope, but he's God's representative on earth.
Yeah, the Episcopal Church is a member of the Anglican Church.
There we go.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Right? I didn't know that. So wait, doesn't that make Donald Trump a member of the Anglican Church? Because didn't he say that he's Episcopalian?
Presbyterian.
Presbyterian. He said he was Presbyterian. Yeah, you're right. My bad. There you go. Thank you.
What's Presbyterian part of? I would hazard a guess it might be the Church of Scotland, but which is different to the Church of England. But anyway, you're looking it up.
Well, actually, I wanted to say real quick. This is a thank you to our friend Deb, who poked my pee for 5, who said, "Good afternoon, folks. The Lincoln Project's Rick Wilson had some fun with the fact that the gift King Charles presented to Trump was a historic bell. Wilson speculated the bell was a sly reference to the British epithet Bell End. Enjoy your weekend."
Nice.
I had an argument in a comment section with several other British people that we never shorten Bell End to Bell, which is untrue. We shorten fucking everything, so of course we do.
I don't think a lot of people know maybe what that means.
Do you want me to describe it?
I was going to say people could just look it up, but sure, Erika, go for it.
Oh, okay. So when a man and a woman love each other very much, sometimes the man gets his ding dong out. And I literally mean ding dong because that's the sound a bell makes. And the end of it is very reminiscent of the shape of a bell. So bell end is basically referring to a D. Okay. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I really wish, I wish and hope that that's what it is. Of course, we'll never know, but that would be wonderful. All right, back to it.
The alliance that our two nations have built over the centuries, and for which we are profoundly grateful to the American people, is truly unique. And that alliance is part of what Henry Kissinger described as Kennedy's soaring vision of an Atlantic partnership based on twin pillars, Europe and America. That partnership, I believe, Mr. Speaker, is more important today than it has ever been. The first reigning British sovereign to set foot in America was my grandfather, King George VI. He visited in 1939 with my beloved grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. The forces of fascism in Europe were on the march, and sometime before the United States had joined us in the defense of freedom, our shared values prevailed. Today, we find ourselves in a new era, but those values remain. It is an era that is in many ways more volatile and more dangerous than the world to which my late mother spoke in this chamber in 1991. The challenges we face
hang on a minute.
are too great for any one nation to...
Sorry.
No,
Somebody in the comments said, is it normal that he keeps talking, calling out Mr. Speaker? He's doing that on purpose. He's asking him to do his job at multiple points during this. He's asking him to do the job that he should be doing. So yeah, he's talking directly to individuals.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Alone. But in this unpredictable environment, our alliance cannot rest on past achievements or assume that foundational principles simply endure. As my Prime Minister said last month, ours is an indispensable partnership. We must not disregard everything that has sustained us for the last 80 years. Instead, we must build on it. Renewal
Delayed applause.
Renewal today starts with security. The United Kingdom recognizes that the threats we face demand a transformation in British defence. That is why our country, in order to be fit for the future, has committed to the biggest sustained increase in defence spending since the Cold War, during part of which, over 50 years ago, I served with immense pride in the Royal Navy, following in the naval footsteps of my father, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, my grandfather, King George VI, my great-uncle, Lord Mountbatten, and my great-grandfather, King George V. This year, of course, also marks...
Erika, I don't know about you, and Nemo, you can also, either of you guys can chime in. I personally, when I heard this for the first time, I thought that was a call out of Trump specifically. I thought that that was like a, hey, I served in the Royal Navy, and so did my father and my grandfather. Or in the service, right? I served in the Navy, and my father served in the service, and my grandfather and my great grandfather.
Yeah, and all of his brothers and sisters
and his
also served. And both of his sons served. It's a tradition in the royal family that they do serve. If you are in line to the throne, you're never going to be put on active duty. Like in a war zone, you're not going to. Like if you're the next in line to the throne. But they have served in wars. Multiple have served in wars.
Yeah. It's still a form of service.
Oh yeah, I forgot. His mum was also. Well, thank you for reminding me. Queen Elizabeth II was also in the Women's Army Auxiliary, I think. Was what she was in, because women weren't allowed to serve in the proper army during World War II. You would have been in the Women's Army Auxiliary or the Women's Air Force Auxiliary. And she was a mechanic. That is true. And she fixed her own Land Rover for her whole life.
That's good. I like that.
No, hang on. Somebody said Harry was in Afghan flying attack helicopters. That's not. Oh, it's Alan. Alan. Harry didn't fly helicopters. That's William that flies helicopters.
Yep. But anyways, that's what I took that as a solid dig right at Trump.
Well,
25th anniversary.
What's that?
He's also saying we know what we're talking about when it comes to the military and when it comes to wars because we've been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Yeah, got the T-shirt exactly.
I was looking it up. So it does look like Harry later on did do helicopter stuff. He was a co-pilot and a gunner in 2013. It looks like he did it for a year. So it was 2012, 2013.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait. As a forward air controller coordinating airstrikes, that was in 2007, 2008. And then 2012, 2013, he was a co-pilot and a gunner. Okay. And then William did, he was also a pilot.
Yeah, William was a pilot in the RAF, and then after his military service, he became an air ambulance pilot. And I happened to in the East of England ambulance service, and I happened to have personal experience with this because one of my pupils was in a car accident on the way home from school. She wasn't in a car; she was on the pavement, the sidewalk, and a car flipped and landed on her, basically. And Prince William was the person flying the helicopter that took her to hospital.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
cool. It was really bad. Like, she degloved one of her legs. Like, it was like awful. But she was back that was in September, and she was back at school by Christmas. So
yeah.
I remember with Harry, there was the famous interview where he's in the middle of an interview and then there's a siren that goes off. I think it was like for a mortar or something like that.
And he just he's like,
yeah,
I'm out. Bye. He just runs.
Can you imagine? I just want everyone to think about this.
No.
I know what you're going to say, and no. Can you imagine anybody who is like part of like Trump's cabinet or his kids or anyone who is in Trump's circle? Oh, hi. I don't know who she is, but what a lovely dance.
I'll tell you.
Oh, okay. But can you imagine them being like, "Oh, guys, people need me. I've got to stop this media interview," or would they be like, "I'll just let the other boys get it," boys and girls.
Yeah. Well, so actually, here it is. It's right here.
It wasn't done in the wrong way, but it was just.
That's it.
It wasn't done in the wrong way, but
it it's just, he's just like, there's no, well, I'm the prince and I'm giving an interview. I don't have to go do that. No. Here. Oh, you want to play it again? Here you go.
It was just.
They're asking you to play it again because
it wasn't done in the wrong way.
See his abs for half a second. All these damn perverts.
But it was just.
That's it. I mean, really, guys, there are much better pictures. Like, you guys can do a lot better than that. Okay. Women are such perverts. I'll tell you, Nemo.
Right?
God.
It is hard to get definition on the lower abs. Like that's the hardest part.
Really and truly. Anyways, all right. Should we let's keep going. Good times. Appreciate you guys being here, by the way.
Oh,
what's that?
Someone asked why he took off. He took off because everybody in the background was running, which meant there was an emergency. So he took off to go and do whatever his job was at that point to deal with said emergency.
Exactly. There's probably like maybe there was an air raid, or they had to go out, they had to fly out an emergency mission, or who knows what it was, but he just went, which is what you're supposed to do. Real quick, if you voted for Donald Trump, we would invite you to hop up in the box. We are talking to Trump supporters, at least for another good little while. Or if you're over on the tube or on Twitch, you can call in. Our phone line is still open and receiving calls, so feel free. If you'd like to offer support to us, we have links in our bios or links down in the description of the YouTube video. You can do it that way. You can also offer support to us via the regular old gifts here on TikTok, and we appreciate all of it. So thank you guys. Okay.
Bumlet in the comments, what a great name by the way, said that's the best mic drop. I'm assuming she means Harry having to like take it off super quick so he could.
Exactly.
This atrocity was a defining moment for America, and your pain and shock were felt around the whole world. During my visit to New York, my wife and I will again pay our respects to the victims, the families, and the bravery shown in the face of terrible loss. We stood with you then, and we stand with you now in solemn remembrance of a day that shall never be forgotten. In the immediate aftermath of 9/11, when NATO invoked Article 5 for the first time, and the United Nations Security Council was united in the face of terror, we answered the call together, as our people have done so for more than a century, shoulder to shoulder,
can we stop
through
before
two
he carries
world
on?
wars, the Cold War.
He very carefully did not say when the United States asked NATO to invoke Article 5. And that's why this speech is so brilliant, because he's not directly like, you did this thing and we had to go to war and we all came and supported you. And he's not doing that. He's talking about NATO, not about about NATO and the importance of it for every member state, not criticizing the United States for anything that they did.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, actually, quite frankly. But he did definitely make it. He's like, but remember that? Remember that?
He does it in a minute where he mentions like multiple.
Thanks, Ken. Yeah, he does it. He's like, he just kind of he throws it in there. It's kind of cool. So, like
Afghanistan, and moments that have defined our shared security. Today, Mr. Speaker, that same unyielding resolve is needed for the defense of Ukraine and her most courageous people.
Matt, can you stop 1 second?
Of course.
This isn't about what he just said, but I think everyone's like, yeah. A couple of people in the comments are asking who writes his speeches. He writes his speeches, but they are looked over by his private secretary, and he has like another secretary who looks over his speeches, and they are also have to be approved by the British government. So the government, I don't know who from the government, somebody will, probably several people will look through his speeches just in case he drops some kind of clanger. But ostensibly, he writes his own speeches. Please, like, remember, he has been taught to do this for decades. It's not, this has been honed over decades and decades and decades. He was always, unlike his mum, he was always going to have this job at some point. So he will have been being taught how to be a good statesman for like 70 years prior to actually taking up the role.
Yeah, exactly. It's just been a long time coming. It's been forever. By the way, thank you, Ken, for going through a number of animals over there. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Those are fun. Those are fun graphics. Thank you, friend. Appreciate you.
It is needed in order to secure a truly just and lasting peace. From the depths of the Atlantic to the disastrously melting ice caps of the Arctic, the commitment and expertise of the United States Armed Forces and its allies lie at the heart of NATO, pledged to each other's defense, protecting our citizens and interests, keeping North Americans and Europeans safe from our common adversaries. Our defense, intelligence, and security ties are hardwired together through relationships measured not in years, but in decades. Today, thousands of U.S. service personnel, defense officials, and their families are stationed in the United Kingdom, as British personnel serve with equal pride across 30 American states.
I did not know that part. I didn't know that there were British service personnel in 30 states. I had no clue. Did anyone else know that?
I didn't.
I mean, 30 states? No. It's a lot.
That's one of the things that when he said it, I was like, oh. But he wouldn't have said it if he hadn't researched it beforehand. So, oh, somebody said sleeper cells. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, wait, hang on. Let's see, 1 second here. Got Nemo. 1 second.
Erika, you had mentioned that he's been trained his whole life because, he was going to be king. You reminded me of the infamous Time magazine article. So this is a Time magazine cover of Charles and the man who will be king, right? So I think the motivation behind that was, homeboy is probably going to be king within the next, 10 years. This cover is from 1978. That's gotta suck. That's gotta suck being Charles, at least on that part. That's gotta suck just a little bit.
I mean, that was a long time.
Just in case people don't know this, so he was obviously the Prince of Wales before he was the king, because that's how it works. Like, William is now the Prince of Wales. When he was the Prince of Wales, he was made to go and live in the house of a normal Welsh family and learn Welsh, so that when he had his investiture as the Prince of Wales, he could speak Welsh properly. And William lived in Anglesey in North Wales for a period of time. So the people who are the members of the royal family that become the Prince of Wales are made to go and spend some quality time in Wales and learn Welsh, which is, as we know, a really hard language.
Very easy, not difficult at all.
As it contains no vowels.
Yeah, and very, very simple pronunciations that make total sense to the normal person that very simple.
Lenny said pronounce the village name. I think that is the rite of passage amongst the Welsh. That is their shibboleth. If you can pronounce the village name, you're Welsh.
Yeah.
I can do the last part of it, but that's the only part. It's a Llandesidio gogogoch. That's the only bit of it I can do. There's like
really
a Porgereth. Porgereth is somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I had a Welsh friend once.
We'll have to pull up the Weatherman later. We've played it before. We'll do it again at some point. So we probably only like 8 or 9 minutes left here. So here we'll pull this.
If they'd stop fucking clapping, it'd be like 3.
Right. Hello? Oh, the sound went off. My bad.
Kingdom, as British personnel serve with equal pride across 30 American states. We are building F-35s together, and we have agreed the most ambitious submarine program in history, AUKUS. And we are doing it in partnership with Australia, a country of which I'm also immensely proud to serve as sovereign. We do not embark on these remarkable endeavors together out of sentiment. We do so because they build greater shared resilience for the future, so making our citizens safer for generations to come. Our common ideals were not only crucial for liberty and equality, they are also the foundation of our shared prosperity. The rule of law, the certainty of stable and accessible rules, an independent judiciary resolving disputes and delivering impartial justice. These features created the conditions for centuries of unmatched economic growth in our two countries. This is why our governments are concluding new economic and technology agreements to write the next chapter of our joint prosperity and ensure that British and American ingenuity continues to lead the world. Our nations are combining talent and resources in the technologies of tomorrow. Our new partnerships in nuclear fusion and quantum computing and in AI and drug discovery, holding the promise of saving countless lives. More broadly, we celebrate the $430 billion in annual trade that continues to grow, the $1.7 trillion in mutual investment that fuels that innovation, and the millions of jobs on both sides of the Atlantic, supported across both economies. These are strong foundations on which to continue to build for generations yet unborn.
Can you just stop 1 second? I just noticed something.
Yeah.
He keeps... Do you remember Obama's speech when he kept there was a repeated phrase that he kept using. It was something to do with we can or we will something, and he repeated it multiple times he's saying the word both again and again and again and again. Oh no, it was oh God, it was we can be the generation that somethings. No, it wasn't yes we can. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, he's doing that same thing, that repetition, that of both we're in it together, you know,
Trying to drive it home.
Yeah, really, yeah. He's got his studs on right now, and he's kicking away at that.
Yeah, he is.
Research and cultural exchange empower citizens and future leaders of both countries. The Marshall Scholarship, named after the great General George Marshall, and the association of which I am so proud to be patron, are emblematic of the connection between our two countries. Since its founding, more than 2,300 scholarships have been awarded, opening doors for Americans from all walks of life to study at the United Kingdom's leading universities. So as we look toward the next 250 years, we must also reflect on our shared responsibility to safeguard nature, our most precious and irreplaceable asset.
Can you stop again? Right. This part is amazing because he talks about climate change without ever saying the phrase climate change. He's talking about nature, which if you are like a hunter or you fish, but both things that he does, by the way, if you are a hunter or you fish or which are things that Trump supporters will identify with, he's not talking about climate change. He's talking about nature and preserving nature. So you can do all those outdoor activities that he sees himself having in common with a lot of people who are on the right in the US.
It's a really good strategy because the right will oftentimes talk about how much they enjoy nature. They like, fishing and camping and hiking, different things like that. But then, you talk about climate change or different, and then it's an immediate. So it's an excellent strategy for sure.
Yeah. Annie just said it's Teddy Roosevelt-esque, which it is.
Absolutely. All right, let's see here.
Millennia before our nations existed, before any border drawn, the mountains of Scotland and Appalachia were one, a single continuous range forged in the ancient collision of continents. The natural wonders of the United States of America are indeed a unique asset, and generations of Americans have risen to this calling. Indigenous, political, and civic leaders, people in rural communities and cities alike, have all helped to protect and nurture what President Theodore Roosevelt called the glorious heritage of this land's extraordinary natural splendor, on which so much of its prosperity has always depended. Yet, even as we celebrate the beauty that surrounds us, our generation must decide how to address the collapse of critical natural systems, which threatens far more than the harmony and essential diversity of nature. We ignore at our peril the fact that these natural systems, in other words, nature's own economy, provide the foundation for our prosperity and our national security. The story of the United Kingdom and the United States is at its heart a story of reconciliation, renewal, and remarkable partnership. From the bitter divisions of 250 years ago, we forged a friendship that has grown into one of the most consequential alliances in human history. I pray with all my heart that our alliance will continue to defend our shared values with our partners in Europe and the Commonwealth and across the world. And that we ignore the clarion calls to become ever more inward-looking. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, America's words carry weight and meaning, as they have since independence. The actions of this great nation matter even more. President Lincoln understood this so well with his reflection in the magisterial Gettysburg Address, that the world may little note what we say, but will never forget what we do. And so to the United States of America, on your 250th birthday, let our two countries rededicate ourselves to each other in the selfless service of our peoples and of all the peoples of the world. God bless the United States.
Oh, sorry. That, they, about what we say versus what we do. That's really important as well. He's letting them know that everybody's going to remember this. And again, he's talking about all the peoples of the world, not, he's very good at not favoring one group of people above another. So at least publicly,
Yeah.
By the way, Matt, when was the last time you saw someone speak in Congress where everybody got up and clapped?
Yeah, for
and
all the things, kind of. Yeah.
Nobody heckled them, and
I don't know. It's been, none of the State of the Unions, that's for sure.
yeah, not recently.
No. Yeah. Not recently, anyways. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, that was the King's speech to Congress.
Not to be confused with the King's Speech, the movie.
Not to be confused with the movie. Correct. Yes. Absolutely. But good shit. Very, very good. So, one of the interesting things that's being said today, a number of people have sent this to me, and I did read about it earlier, is that Donald Trump is trying to say that all of the hostilities with Iran, all of them, are terminated. Because after 60 days, Donald Trump needs reauthorization for military force from Congress.
Oh, yeah, because he has, yeah.
Right. So that's kind of important. But it's right at 50-50, basically, because Susan Collins and Rand Paul have now defected. If one more Republican goes the other way, he's kind of in fucking trouble. So, yes, Chris, exactly. It's today. That's why this was kind of a big deal. So, saying that hostilities were terminated just because there was a ceasefire and not a formal end to the war is not how that works. Susan Collins, she said that today. So don't know. It seems tenuous at best, that explanation. But Mandy, I'm not saying we trust Susan Collins or Rand Paul. I'm just pointing out that was she voted against it. So That's all.
Did they go to Congress and ask for permission to keep going?
No, but there was a war powers resolution that they voted on yesterday.
Right.
Right. So that was kind of a big deal, because they're trying to pass it, and yeah. So, anyways, that's pretty much where we're at. But the idea that this is the problem. The Republicans aren't going to be. This is the Republicans being caught between a rock and a hard place, because they know that this is a deeply unpopular war. So they don't want to stay on board with this longer than they need to. This is not good for them. So continuing to support this and enable the president to just do whatever the fuck he wants in Iran isn't politically great for them. But also going against Donald Trump isn't politically great for them either. Because then they don't want to draw his ire. So, yeah. It's kind of a lose-lose situation for them. I love this for them, to be honest with you. So, it sucks.
Matt, I've just sent you a news story. Are you aware of this?
Hold on. Hold, please. No. Put it up. Hold on. Let's see. Missing Oklahoma Senate candidate found dead in vehicle 2 days after disappearance. A missing Republican state Senate candidate has been found dead 2 days after he was last seen. Barry Christian, 54, is running for Oklahoma's 38th district on the GOP ticket after a 35-year career as a drilling consultant. His campaign described him as the conservative choice and carried a pledge from Christian his campaign site described him as the conservative choice for the Western District and carried a pledge from Christian, because his name is Christian, read that wrong, to proudly stand with President Trump and fight for the traditional conservative values that make America great if elected. He secured an endorsement from MAGA favorite Kid Rock, who appeared in an Instagram video last month promoting his candidacy ahead of a June 16th election in which Christian was one of 3 running to replace incumbent Brent Howard. Last seen on Tuesday, and his failure to show up for a scheduled meeting Wednesday morning prompted concerns for his well-being. That's wild. I mean, that sounds like foul play.
Well, does it say, because he could have
I mean, I guess, but it says that crime scene technicians are currently examining the truck. The spot where the vehicle was located with a discarded campaign sign nearby is 20 minutes from Christian's home in Sayre. I want to say Sayre, Oklahoma. And it says, campaign spokeswoman said that the circumstances surrounding death remain under investigation. Authorities have not released details.
Someone in the comments asked if he'd met with JD Vance recently, which I think is a fair question.
Yeah, that's true. People that meet with him tend to die mysteriously.
Did he have a nice couch that would have... Never mind. Those estate sale auctions can get a little tricky.
When are we going to investigate JD for the number of important international figures who have unalived soon after meeting him?
I don't know. Probably right after we get on releasing those Epstein files. I would assume. We got somebody in the box here. Who do we have? Seeking for Hope. Hi, did you vote for Donald Trump? Hello? All right, cool. That was a mistake. Once again, guys, if you're over on the tube and you like to call in, you can call in. I mean, or you can come on up. I guess we really don't have any Trump supporters left. I mean, I just we've won. This is it.
Can I mention a bit of the King's other speech that he did at the dinner that was fucking hilarious?
Yeah, please. Go for it.
The bit where he, if anyone watched it, where he said, I can't help but notice the renovations going on to the east wing of the White House, and then went on to say something along the lines of, if you know your history, you may remember that we tried to renovate the White House in 1814, or something like that, referring to when they burnt the White House down. It was very funny.
He said something to the effect of like the last time we tried to renovate it was or we also tried to renovate. That was
yeah.
This is our friend Crystal sent this. This is Hegseth in his hearing. Hold on one second. This is Hegseth in his hearing trying to justify the war powers thing that we were just talking about.
Ultimately, I would defer to the White House and White House counsel on that. However, we are in a ceasefire right now, which our understanding means the 60-day clock pauses or stops in a ceasefire. They're not in. Yeah. It's our understanding, just so you know.
Okay, well, I do not believe the statute would support that. I think the 60 days runs maybe tomorrow, and it's going to pose a really important legal question for the administration. We have serious constitutional concerns, and we don't want to layer those with additional statutory concerns. I yield back, Mr.
I mean, Hegseth, he can't really talk about it because there's no chance he can get involved in any sort of a constitutional discussion. JW, hi, did you vote for Donald Trump? Okay. Hegseth doesn't want that smoke. That's why he was like, well, you can talk to the White House and their White House counsel. It's my understanding. And he's just like, it's like, my name is Paul, and that's between y'all.
Yeah.
My favorite of the Iranian videos so far was the one specifically about Pete Hegseth on the pirate ship. That was great.
Yeah. Thank you for calling the stream. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Hello?
Hi, thanks for calling the stream. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How old are you and what state are you in?
I am 25.
And what state are you in?
Oh, I'm in Michigan.
Okay. Why do you still support Donald Trump?
I like what he's doing for our country. I think I've seen some improvements in my day-to-day life. Just him being in office. And I like his ideas and beliefs that he's trying to implement into our country.
Okay. Now, where are you from originally?
I am from Florida.
Yeah. Interesting accent.
Yeah, thank you. It's a southern accent, if you can't tell.
What part of Florida?
Largo area.
It's really interesting because I lived in Clearwater for quite some time, and nobody has that accent there.
Did you now?
Yep.
Oh,
what part of what? Where in Largo did you live?
I mean, like, what do you mean? Like, obviously the city of Largo, but you mean like north, south?
Not a city.
West.
It's a town. Maybe you could tell me what major road you lived off of right now. Go.
Main Street.
No such thing.
Yeah, there is. I lived there for 20 plus years. I moved there.
Listen. This is a terrible troll, and you absolutely picked the wrong person. Yeah, exactly. I lived in fucking Clearwater, dude. Like, you picked the wrong person. And also, I saw this. I knew this right away because I saw the area code was 727. I know I used to have a 727 number. Like, you picked the wrong person, bud.
When I text Matt and say, "Is that a Michigan accent?"
No.
Then you know something's wrong because even I picked up that he doesn't sound like he's from where he says he's from.
Yeah, I mean, this not a. Yeah, it's bullshit. The reason, by the way, that I knew that he's lying is there's no major road in Largo that is Main Street that you could live off of. It's not a thing. Like, period, the end. So
I think he meant Main Street USA at Disney. I think he just kind of mixed up. I think it was Kissimmee is where he wanted to say he lived.
Well, Nemo knew right away, and when he said Florida, because I saw, like I said, I saw the 727 number, and I was like, there's nobody with that accent who comes from there. Period. The end.
No. Like, very, very, very North Florida, like close to the Georgia or Alabama line, maybe, but not.
Yeah, this is to give you guys, just so you guys know, in Florida, I'll help you out here. Largo is here. It's for those of you who can't see. So this is right here in the Clearwater St. Pete area. This is it. Okay, that's Largo. It's right there. Nobody who lives here, Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete, Sarasota, like this area, has a Southern accent like that. If you want to hear an accent like that, you need to get here. Up here. That's Gainesville, Alachua. Okay? All the way up. If you want to talk about it, you can get it here or over here in the Panhandle, like Nemo was talking about up by the Florida-Georgia border. Okay? That's where you'll find it. Is nobody who comes from this area who has an accent like that. No way.
I just want to let you know that someone in the comments who's often in the comments of Doug's live has just asked if you're his brother.
Yes, I am.
I know.
I do. I mean, I just gotta lean into it now. At this point, there's no two ways about it. Well, guys, I don't know. I think this in terms of ops, this might be a losing battle.
I would really like Liam to come in right now because I feel like I don't feel like he had the plot in the first place, but I feel like if he'd ever seen the plot, been near the plot, he has now completely lost it.
Did you enjoy?
Yes, I've watched your video. Yes,
enjoy that.
Yeah, he told me the other day that, or he implied at least in his speech that humans are walked by dogs. So that's when he says that he dog walked somebody. That's why he gets it wrong all the time, because he doesn't understand which party is doing the walking.
That makes a lot more sense. Thank you real quick to the Mighty Pen, the one Mighty Pen over on the tube for the super chat. Said, did you hear about the island man's heir that unalived himself? No.
Is that the start of a joke? What?
I don't think so. I guess. Oh, interesting. Edward Huel Larsen. I hope I'm saying that correctly. With the 25-year-old political heir and son of prominent Norwegian diplomats, died by unaliving in Oslo. His death occurred amid a joint Norwegian and French police investigation into his parents' financial ties to Jeffrey. Newly released DOJ documents reveal that Jeff had left $5 million each to Edward and his twin sister Emma. We got one. Let's see if this is somebody. Thank you for calling the stream. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Hello.
Hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Say that again? I couldn't hear you.
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How old are you and what state are you in?
I am 21 and I am in Michigan currently.
Okay. Why do you still support Donald Trump?
For a handful of reasons, but I think the main one is I believe in Jesus Christ, and I like.
You're the same kid. Like, it was so obvious. You just call back on a block number.
And you just dropped the random accent.
Yeah. Yeah, I agreed, Eric. I just saw your message. Agreed.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, I hadn't heard about it, and now I have. Holy cow. So, yeah. So again, that the person's name was Edward Huel Rod Larsen. Rud Larsen. Norwegian is tough. All the Scandinavian languages are tough. But it's an interesting one. Yikes. So, guys, sorry we didn't get ops like we wanted. But at least we had some good discussions. At least we had a little bit of fun. We appreciate you guys being here. So that's good.
I think it's good to have something in reserve just in case these days.
That's very, very true. We appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Thank you, friend. We appreciate you guys offering all of your support to both not just to me but to our friends on the panel. So show them an immense amount of love here as we wrap up. Also, if you want to show additional support, you can do so via the links in our bios or the links in the description to the YouTube video, which is right down there. You can just click on it. Also, in addition, make sure that you're subscribed to me. You can subscribe to our friend Nemo over on the tube, and you can also subscribe to our friend Erika. Both of them are linked right down there. So drop them a follow as well, because it's free, it's easy. If you guys primarily watch over here on TikTok, make sure that you're also following on the tube. Even if that means you make an account right now and go and do it, because there are probably going to be times in the future when maybe we're just up on the tube. That could easily be a thing. Okay, with the way that TikTok is and the way that things are, just make sure that you've got your that you're connected with us there. Okay, just it makes sense. So go for it. Also, this is my backup account. Because we got clipped the other night. Be back on the main account on Monday. But if you're just finding me, if you're just following me here, please click through and follow the main account. Make sure you're following our friend Erika. She's on a private account, but she'll accept you at some point after the fact, assuming that you're not one of the underage crowd or a total fucking creep. Make sure you're following Nemo and then his many backup accounts, because you'll find him at a staggering number of places and on a staggering number of accounts at various times. Consider joining up on the Discord, which you can find a link for both in his link tree and my link tree. Yeah. So, in a bit of an early surprise twist, our friend Polly is live. So I think that we should send Polly a raid, because he did so the other day. So I'd like to return the favor and send one back his way. So and show him some support, and thank you for having me on as a co-host yesterday, which was super kind. And he's hoping to do so soon with our friend Nemo as well. Which
oh, I see.
Erika, would you like me to suggest that he do it with you?
I don't really know him. I think that would be rude, but I still see.
Anyways,
I just like being butthurt for no good reason.
Don't we all? All right, so let's go. We'll go see Polly, but do me a favor, guys. Nemo and I will be back on Monday night with our normal time at 10 p.m. But that being said, you never know when you're going to see our friends on these TikTok streets. So whenever you see either of our friends around at any point in time, make sure that you're supporting them. Make sure that you're giving them all the likes, all the gifts, all of the support, okay? Because they deserve it, and we love them very much. So let's head out.